All right. All right. We're back. We are back, but I'm having some issues. Right now, you all are looking at the wrong screen. Oh, no, you're not. You're good. Right? Welcome back. Well, you should be good. Can y'all see this?
People have been.
Okay, you should see some photos of dogs, like drawings, little bubbles floating around. Kind of an animation video. Let me know if y'all see that or not. I'm having some, I sort of got to get readapted to the update. When I did that system update, like everything changed. And some of the stuff, it operates differently now. So bear with me as I readjust to my new home. What is it, Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. It's hump day. Happy hump day to everybody. Hope y'all's week going fast. It's going fast for me. I'm very happy that Wednesday is out of the way. And I only have 2 more days to tolerate my job and the people there. Right? And that's a job, just having to tolerate. And I'm sure I get on a lot of their nerves as well. Right? It is what it is. I want to sort of deal with a broad topic today. It took me a while to decide what title to use for this live stream. And I went with the good versus the bad. Now, I know most of you, it's a no-brainer. You know, the good, what good? And it's so minimal. The so-called good that dogs provide humans is so minimal, I'm not even going to deal with it. We all know what it is. A seeing eye mutt. You'll hear people say, oh, they're good for protection, which they are not. They are not. The only thing they can really hang their hat on is companionship. And that, even companionship, that's worthless. Because you can't even communicate with it. So that's not much of a companion. It would be different if you also were unable to use language. If you were as dumb as a dog, then companionship, that would make sense. But looking at the evolved brain of human beings, you should be slapped for trying to be a companion or choosing a dog to be your companion. Do you really think that will exercise your brain? You really think that's beneficial for mankind? Your brain will literally never be challenged. And over time, you will become just as dumb as that dumb dog. You can imagine a civilization of people where everybody lives with a dog and dogs only. After a few generations, if they even make it that far, you already know that's going to be a very dumb population of people who are extremely socially dysfunctional. There's nothing wrong with being socially awkward, nothing wrong with having social anxiety. I think a big portion of social anxiety for a lot of people is their awareness of how crazy so many people in the world is. So when you go out into public, you can feel the stupidity in the air. And you just don't want to, interact with anybody because you know it's just a bunch of buffoonery. And when they start talking, it's going to be a bunch of babble, worthless jibber jabber. People try to drag me into these nothing conversations every day, and I just keep silent. I can't do it. Even if I were to try, they would be able to tell that I'm not really into the garbage that they're talking about. Stupidity is thick these days. So companionship is not worth anything for a human, okay? That don't really work. But I want to look and focus on the bad because I don't think the bad gets enough attention. I think the bad is so bad and accepted that people don't give it any thought. That's a big part of the problem. Now, as y'all know, I advocate for the worldwide extermination of dogs. And I mean all dogs. I don't care if they are as small as a thimble. Okay? Now, I'm a lot more passionate about the extermination of large, vicious dogs. But all dogs. How we doing here? Do I got sound? I don't want to be 20 minutes into a live stream again, and I don't even have sound. Sitting up here talking to myself. Yeah. All right. Good to see everybody up in here. Right? Companionship is worthless. We need to focus on the bad. We've been adapted to the bad for so long that we accept it as a part of our life, as if it's natural to be attacked, natural to contract rabies, right? Look at the good and the bad of bees, for example. Now, nobody wants to get stung by a bee. I don't think I've ever been stung by a bee in my life. I can't remember. Don't ever remember getting stung. And I don't want to get stung. And when I see bees, especially the big ones, I'm mindful of where they are until I can't see them anymore. But they usually leave me alone. They don't bother me. They would not leave me alone if they were dogs. So what's the bad? Well, you might get stung. What's the good? They help pollinate crops. They're responsible for 1/3 of all pollination. So yes, you allow the bees to live. Right? You don't bother me, I won't bother you. You continue to help pollinate the crops so we can eat. We can coexist on this earth just fine. With dogs, it's not like that. It's not like that, people. And we need to deal with this. Now, rabies, I know is not a big deal here in the United States. But people from all over the world are anti-dog. People from all over the world listen to my channel. And this is important. We still do get rabies cases in the United States. And it could increase at any moment, just like these other diseases pop up among dogs and spreads rapidly. Now I want to start off and I want to deal with rabies because, especially here in the United States, we overlook how destructive rabies is. I don't think we take it as seriously as we should. And I'm saying this for everybody on this planet. I think everybody in each country, I don't know why, but they minimize rabies. Well, I have an idea. It is because 99% of all rabies transmission to humans comes from dogs. You see that? Dogs are the source. I'm reading this article. This is on, what is this? This is out of India. And the article is about rabies in India. It said dogs are the source of the vast majority of human rabies deaths, contributing up to 99%. Now, I've seen different figures, 99, 97. It's all in the upper 90s. Why is that? Why is that? These are stray dogs, right? Most rabies cases, they come out of the countries where they're full of stray dogs. So there's nobody raising these dogs to be violent. So what's the problem? If you can contract rabies from any animal, which is what they say, then why is it that we almost exclusively contract rabies from dogs? And this is in all countries, right? Don't think only in terms of the United States. May not be that many stray dogs here, but there are more stray dogs in many other countries. As there are many other animals in other countries. But yet, the contraction of rabies is not distributed evenly among the animals that infect us. And it's actually just a reflection of how dangerous, how aggressive, how violent dogs are. 99% of all cases, somebody was bitten by a dog. These same creatures that are addicted to attacking are the same creatures they want to tell us never attacks unprovoked. They're going to have to change their rhetoric, people. They're going to have to, because it's getting clowned that hard. And there's nowhere for them to turn. Now, here in the United States, we talk about 40 to 50 deaths per year. Now, me personally, I think that's a lot of deaths. That's an emergency. 40 to 50 deaths per year, and there's a single cause. That's a lot. A lot of people, especially dog lovers, they don't think that's a lot at all. And they say, oh, that's no big deal. 40, 50 people. You can sacrifice that many people for dogs, which is basically what we're doing. Those deaths, they are more like sacrifices than anything else I can think of. Sacrificing for dogs. But over there in India, in other parts of the world, they have tens of thousands. In India alone, they account for, according to this article, some 36% of the world's rabies death, just in India alone. In India, there's between 18 and 20,000 deaths every year. In India alone, 18 to 20,000 deaths. 30 to 60% of rabies cases and deaths in India occur in children under the age of 15. That's 30 to 60% rabies cases. Children, 15 and under. Y'all know I was about to name this live stream The Need to Exterminate Dogs, or something like that. The urgency to exterminate dogs. I was going back and forth with different phrases. But I want that to be a part of the discussion, at the center of this discussion. I keep that close in mind as I research stuff like this. The urgent need to exterminate dogs. And this is epidemic. Statistics, 18 to 20,000. I know there's a lot of people in India. I don't care. Ain't no other animal killing 18, 20,000 people every year. Unbelievable. Rabies deaths in humans are 100% preventable through prompt and appropriate medical care. Yeah, as soon as you get bitten, you have to run to the hospital really fast. Tell them you were bitten by a dog so that they will inject you with something, a vaccine, really fast. That doesn't work for everyone. And that's stupid. The real way to prevent it is to remove the dogs. People, the need to exterminate dogs from our planet is stronger than the need to exterminate any other living organism, whether it be mammal, plant, anything. I stand on that. These things have almost wiped us clean from the face of the earth more than once, in my opinion. Y'all know me and my theories. But I'll come back to that. I want to share a video or a couple videos with you all. And we'll start with this one. Wait, is this the one that I want to show you? Yeah, and then we'll watch the other one. You know, I want to make sure we all, understand rabies, what it does. It never hurts to have more knowledge inside your skull.
Once the rabies symptoms occur, nobody can save them.
Once the symptoms occur, nobody can save you, is what he said.
Actually, it really...
Here, I'm going to turn on the captions, but the captions are not that accurate. So let's just try to work through it. Very thick accents out of India. So for us in America, or at least some of us, it's kind of difficult to understand.
You don't want to die.
Just if you blow air on them like this, if you blow on the face, they could panic.
You blow on their face, they could panic.
Somebody comes, you will get excited. Patient cannot even swallow a drop of water. He'll be screaming in agony.
Screaming in agony, swallowing a drop of water. And he said they can't swallow a drop of water, and they just don't like water at all. Isn't this crazy? This is truly one of the craziest infections that could strike humans. Causes you to become aggressive. You will salivate. Even people.
Classical signs of hydrophobia, photophobia.
Hydrophobia. Yeah, the fear of water.
There is no treatment in the whole world, so we have to just give him the moral support.
There's no treatment in the whole world. These captions are accurate. So we have to just give them moral support
Till he dies.
Until they die. India has the fastest growing dog population in the world. And I will add, India has a stronger need to exterminate dogs than any other country in the world. For India to advance, for them to evolve, not trying to say that they're unevolved, nothing like that. Here in the United States, we are unevolved. But for India and any other country that has a stray dog population, for them to evolve, it has to involve the removal of these dogs from their communities. Nothing else can really flourish. Now, you know what's interesting about this? Look at the title. What is the title of this? This is replete. You see this a lot with these videos and articles. Wherever you find information about rabies, you see this. Look at the title. Causing 21,000 deaths a year, rabies is India's silent killer. And as always, they're only talking about dogs. This is basically a dog video. Because rabies is almost exclusively associated with dogs. People, I believe rabies originated in dogs. That dogs are the true origin of rabies, as they are the origin of many other diseases, bacteria, parasites, germs, viruses. But they're not going to share that information with us because they don't want to lose all that good money. India has the fastest growing dog population. Okay. Look at this. 17.4 million dog bite cases reported each year in India. Okay, here in the US, 4.7. India, 17.4. Yes, India has a population of over 1 billion. Was it 1.4 billion? So their population, I believe, is about what? Maybe 4 times more than the United States? What is our I don't even know the population here in the United States. It's about 400 million, right? Oh, Lord. I don't know the population of my own country. Population? Yes. 331 million. Okay, so not quite as much as I thought. So India has like 4 times as many people. Okay, let's say 5 times as many. Is that fair? 331 million? Let's check it out. 331 million. The 331 million times 5. Eh? Let's do 5. Oh, you have to do 6. 6 times 331. Oh, no, I'm well over. What am I doing? We'll say 4. Sorry about that. 4 times 331. Okay, we'll stay with 5. 1.7 or 17 million. This here is 13 million. 331. Yeah. So yeah, 5 times. Now, here's the problem. 5 times. Let's say 5. Let's say 6. Look at how many deaths there are in the United States compared to India. Let's say 50 deaths in the United States per year. Multiply that by 5, by 6. You don't get nothing nowhere near 18 to 20,000 deaths per year. That means if you were to stretch the United States population to match India's population, over there in India, because there are so many stray dogs, they're still being attacked. Far more often, people, far more often than we are here in the United States. And it's because of these stray dogs that are over there. Now, how is that even possible? That on average, they attack more often. They attack people more often. Yet the behaviorists and experts over here tell us that dog aggression usually comes from people training them to be aggressive, abusing them, mistreating them. And that if you don't raise a dog to be violent and aggressive, it won't be violent or aggressive. Yet the stray dogs attack more often than the domestic dogs. Real important point. Real important. Which tells you these dogs here in the United States, it's the food. You're in these people's house every day, all day. They give you non-stop supply of food. That's the only reason why they're not attacking. Again, that's why I said there's a catastrophe, and no more dog food, no more nothing, the first thing we'd have to do is go around and kill the dogs. Y'all, we should be clear on this. If something knocks us back into the Stone Ages, which is very possible, people. Let's say the internet gets knocked out. All the banks get knocked out. You don't have no digital operating nothing. No phone, no nothing. And you don't have a way to get a supply of dog food for the dogs. Anything could happen. Could put a stop to the production of dog food. Now what's going to happen? Something like that happens. People are going to have to go around and kill the dogs. If not, they're going to kill us. Sorry about that. That's way too loud. Right? Some 20,000, 21,000 people in India die every year of rabies. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Unbelievable. And it speaks to the urgency. Speaks to how much we need to exterminate these things. They have no place on this planet. When you have such a negative impact on the brightest, most intelligent species on the planet, you don't deserve to live on that planet. That's just the way it is. Basically, dogs are here for us to exterminate and make an example out of. When you have so much of a negative impact on our existence, you should not exist. We're not having a negative impact on their existence. We facilitate the comfort of their existence. You know what we need? We need anti-dog courses in college. Let's be honest now. I know that might sound funny on its face, but you all know that's exactly what we need, people. It should be a class. The most painful death on earth. Okay? According to them. It destroys you. Here, let's get some volume. Look at the number of people who have to deal with this horrible death. You don't think this is worth exterminating the dogs over? That's scary. That's scary to think that so many people think, oh, it's no big deal. No.
In the recent past, the number of cases have increased. I see any case between 3 to 7 cases per day. This includes dog bites, cat bites, monkey bites. Most common
dog bites, cat bites, monkey bites. Cut that out. All right, we got the statistics. 97%, 99% is coming from dogs.
People who are bitten nowadays are the software engineers who travel in the night time.
I think he said the software engineers who travel in the nighttime. Couldn't really understand it. The caption said, he said, the people who get bit nowadays are the software inventors who travel in the night, which don't even make sense. Let's see if I can listen to this again.
Are the software engineers who travel in the night time. 3 to 7 cases per day. This includes dog bites, cat bites, monkey bites. Most common people who are bitten nowadays are the software engineers who travel in the night time.
Now look at this. Immediate vaccination is the only way to prevent rabies. No. You see how they sell you a vaccine, something you got to pay for, and tell you that's the only way? No. The only way to prevent rabies is to exterminate dogs. You're primarily contracting rabies from dogs, according to your own statistics. But they're so hell-bent on protecting and defending dogs that they will make excuses for them. Sorry, I know that's loud. Let me turn this down. Most deaths in India occur due to incomplete vaccination. No, they're due to the fact that you haven't removed the dogs from society. And the laws over there that protect stray dogs are inhumane and disgusting. How many of y'all have looked into those laws, people? I've not been this upset in a while, believe it or not. Where did I find that at? Here's 10 of them. 10 laws that protect stray dogs in India. Huh? Look at that. They said stray animals. Y'all see how each time they do this, they reveal the con, how they use the word animals and pets, knowing they're only talking about dogs. 10 laws and rights to protect stray animals in India that every animal lover should be aware of. Okay, well, let's take a look at these animals. Don't show nothing but dogs. I mean nothing but dogs, and that's all they're talking about is dogs. Okay? Now, I'm not going to go over all this, but look at this. Look at the ones highlighted. It is not illegal to feed stray dogs. They wrote animals. Isn't that revealing? Look at that. How clumsy they are. They can't even really conceal the con that well. But they started off pointing out that it's not illegal to feed them. In other words, hey, go feed them. That's what they're trying to do. Because the people behind these types of articles are these nutters. Linked in with some type of nutter organization. Okay, they got their little SPCAs all over the world. Well, it's not illegal to feed them, so go take them some food. Look at number 2. It is illegal to poison them. Oh, that's illegal. Mind you, these things out here attacking a lot of people and killing a lot of people. Some 20,000 people every single year. And you want to protect those same creatures? What is this? You want to protect the dog's ability to attack people? That's what it sounds like. There's no other way to put it. Sections 428, 429 of the Indian Penal Code and the Cruelty to Animals Act of 1960 make it illegal to maim or cause injury to any dog. The same dogs that maim and cause injury to people every day, all day. Killing tens of thousands every year. And it's illegal for you to harm them in any way. It's illegal for vehicles to run them over. A person who is caught violating these laws can be reported to the local animal protection group and the police. Look at number 3. It is illegal to cause harm to stray dogs. Didn't they already say that? Number 2, poison. So you got a law against poisoning them and a law against harming them in any way. So you can't smack them. You can't swat them with a stick. You can't stone them. Can't throw a rock at them. No wonder these dogs are all off through the neighborhood, in the hospitals, in grocery stores, laid out all over the place. They got laws that say you better not touch these dogs. I would not survive in a country like that. I would not survive in it because it would be either me or the dogs. So I would immediately go with the dogs, obviously. And they're saying that there are laws over there in India. That baby that was mauled on my Twitter, you can go see that video. It's on my Twitter. That was in India. And those creatures are protected by the laws. You better not touch them. How sick. Boy, this nutter, the dog nutter culture is deep. Government issues IDs to people who feed stray dogs. Listen to that. Really? This is infuriating, man. This is bad. Oh boy. It is against the law to relocate stray dogs from their territory. Listen to that. Listen to that. So if they set up shop right outside your home, right, you step outside, you got a pack of dogs camped up right in front of your house, it's illegal to move them, to relocate them. So we can't touch them, can't harm them, can't poison them, can't move them. Y'all really got laws over there like that? Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, it sounds like the British has their hands in India. This sounds like it came from a bona fide hardcore nutter community. I don't think this would have originally or organically came from the native people in India. You know, this had to permeate for a while. People still kill stray dogs over there, though. Make no mistake. They still get it in. So you can't relocate them. It's illegal to starve them or take away their shelter. I'm not making this up now. This is so ridiculous now that I have to remind the listeners that I am not making this up. I'm not making this up. Under Section 11, PCA Act, SPCA, yeah. Illegal to starve what? So I'm forced to feed them? No. We got people from India in the chat room. Please tell us this not true. Where's my Indian crusaders at? I think Yusuf Mamba is in India. Please tell us this not true. Illegal to starve them? Now, you remember not long ago I shared that article where this nutter over there in India said, hey, the dogs are attacking you because you won't feed them. So they got laws that say that you can't starve them. And then you got their experts saying, hey, if you want to stop the dogs from attacking you, you have to feed them. You may as well feed them. You can't relocate them. You can't shoo them away. Listen to this. How crazy is this, man? This doesn't even seem real. Capturing them against their will is against the law. Proper documentation required for buying, selling of cow. Okay, what is it talking about here? Okay, they're talking about something else now. But those are some of the laws. In India, to protect these vicious, violent mutants. It's unbelievable to me. Very crazy. Now, I did a little research into the origin of rabies. I am a true nerd, and I don't like when my job drains all my energy, because then I don't have enough energy for my true passion. But y'all know I'm a big critic of history as it's given by the mainstream. Huge critic. And I'm going to tell you now, I believe rabies is fairly new. They try to say that it has its roots around 2000 BC. Stop it. Stop it. No, I don't believe that. I think it's fairly recent. They say it originated in the old world. The first case in Boston, 1768. All right. I did a little more research. I went to Wikipedia. I went here. I went there. I think I still got it up. Yeah, I still got it up here. I don't know. I'll just tell you up front. I don't know. But I believe, I seriously suspect it originated with dogs. And even if it didn't originate with dogs, it's currently almost exclusively infecting dogs. They're almost exclusively the sole transmitters of rabies to humans. So they may as well be the true origin of rabies. They look like it, don't they? How could it not have originated with dogs, yet they now are the primary ones with it? How'd that happen? So it permeated through some other animal species and then just disappeared and, relocated, found a whole new host. Really? The disease itself, rabies, is aware of the host that it infects and has a preference. So, I don't want to infect bats. Let's go to dogs. But on top of all that, dogs attack people far more often than any other animal. And I think that is what this information reflects more than anything. The viciousness, the anti-human character of dogs, not man's best friend. Again, reverse everything. Reverse everything. The fact that they represent some 97, 99% of all rabies cases, that's a reflection of how anti-human dogs are. If you stay mindful of that they are anti-human, you see the world different. You see the world a lot different. Things hit you a whole lot harder.
People have been scared of rabies for thousands of years, many times depicting their fear in drawings and carvings of menacing dogs. But rabies is scary for more reasons than just a painful bite. Because once the virus is inside us, it not only destroys our body, but damages our mind. And it can happen fast, or lay dormant for years before fatally attacking. So,
can lay dormant for years before fatally attacking? You want to... It's like, whoa, slow down. What? Attack your brain? Where'd this come from? This sounds like something that will come from a dog.
damages our mind. And it can happen fast, or lay dormant for years before fatally attacking. So, how exactly do we get from a dog bite to a complete behavioral change to death? The virus that causes rabies is spread through saliva, so the most common way to contract rabies is through an animal bite.
Notice, fittingly, They're only showing dogs. They're only talking about dogs. And they're trying to only talk about rabies. I'm pointing this out because we overlook how rabies is virtually exclusively associated with dogs. So yeah, they are the origin of it. That's why even here in the United States, you get bitten by a dog, they tell you go straight to the hospital and get a rabies vaccination. First thing they do is try to contact the owner and they ask him, has it had a rabies vaccination? Why we need to keep vaccinating every dog for rabies if over so many generations we've gotten rid of it? That's because rabies will just spring back up into dogs. Just like the Black Death will just spring up inside them. Dogs would be extinct now if humans were not fighting to keep them in existence. Nature would have wiped them out by now. That's how dysfunctional and anti-universe dogs are. Anti-natural, unnatural. These are unnatural mutants. Always be mindful of that. They're not God's creatures. And they don't deserve to dwell on this earth as a product of God or product of nature. I pointed this out before. It's a morally upright thing to exterminate these things. You allowing them to exist on this earth is only causing people pain. That's all it's doing.
The virus that causes rabies is spread through saliva, so the most common way to contract rabies is through an animal bite, most likely from a dog, bat, raccoon, skunk, or fox. There have been a few rare cases of transmission through infected organ donors and an even rarer instance of a lab accident, but for the most part, it comes down to a bite from a rabid animal. So even though it's a virus
And they show a dog
that can infect and kill humans, it's studied considerably in veterinary labs.
Okay, I am Dr. Susan Moore. I'm the laboratory director of the Rabies Laboratory at Kansas State University, part of the veterinary diagnostic lab within the vet school here. We are the largest rabies serology laboratory in the world. So the rabies virus is in the family Lyssavirus. Lyssa means rage, really, so that's kind of tells you what this group of viruses are capable of.
And what they're capable of.
What type of virus makes you angry and violent? You know, seeing that this disease really comes from dogs, let's really look at how abnormal it is. That's crazy to me.
Is causing a very quick and painful death caused by the virus making its way into your brain.
Oh, let's back that up.
This group of viruses are capable of.
And what they're capable of is causing a very quick and painful death caused by the virus making its way into your brain.
It's a neurotropic virus, so that means it preferentially is going to infect neural tissue or neural cells. So when it gets injected into the skin or the muscle, it's not going to replicate all that well, but all it needs to do is replicate enough that it can get to that neuromuscular junction where that it can go from the muscle cells into the central nervous system.
Now, at this point, you'd think your immune system would kick in.
What type of virus attacks your nervous system? This is crazy.
Recognize this dangerous intruder and destroy it. But your immune system doesn't see it. This is thought to be because the virus replicates slowly in the muscle tissue, slow enough not to cause any alarm. This gives it a chance to reach the nervous system where it hitches a ride up to the brain and slips through the blood-brain barrier. It's behind this shield where the rabies virus can flourish while still being able to hide from our immune system because the blood-brain barrier evolved to keep dangerous or harmful things out. But sometimes that includes immune cells.
Did y'all catch that? Let's back that up. I'm sorry. Let's hear that again.
The muscle cells into the central nervous system.
Now, at this point, you'd think your immune system would kick in, recognize this dangerous intruder, and destroy it. But your immune system doesn't see it. This is thought to be because the virus replicates slowly in the muscle tissue, slow enough not to cause any alarm. This gives it a chance to reach the nervous system, where it hitches a ride up to the brain and slips through the blood-brain barrier. It's behind this shield where the rabies virus can flourish while still being able to hide from our immune system, because the blood-brain barrier evolved to keep dangerous or harmful things out. But sometimes that includes immune cells.
In fact, if T cells do get past the blood-brain barrier, the rabies virus has evasion techniques where it actually kills the T cells that are coming in.
As the virus replicates in the brain,
It will kill your T cells. The rabies virus.
it starts to mess with the
Rabies virus has evasion techniques where it actually kills the T cells that are coming in.
As the virus replicates in the brain, it starts to mess with the brain's cellular proteins, causing neural dysfunction. This is where certain symptoms of rabies start and how you can tell the infection has fully set in.
Once the infection has fully set in, it'll start traveling back out through the nerves into innervated organs, hair follicles, but again, particularly through to the salivary glands, so then it could be transmitted out.
These neurological symptoms also
People, this sounds like something that came from outer space. Can we have this discussion? Doesn't this sound like something that came from outer space? Otherworldly? Sort of like dogs. It's not earthly. This is crazy.
help the virus transfer to a new host.
Whoa.
Hyper
Fully set in, it'll start traveling back out through the nerves into innervated organs, hair follicles, but again, particularly through to the salivary glands, so then it could be transmitted.
This virus, it got like a mind of its own. It blocks the T cells. If the T cells get through, it kills them. It causes you to produce more saliva so that it can infect another host. Makes you aggressive. This is crazy. And it's telling that this is almost exclusively a dog thing. Oh, that's just crazy. I got more evidence and proof than I actually need to argue the need to exterminate these things. This is crazy.
So then it could be transmitted out.
These neurological symptoms also help the virus transfer to a new host. Hypersalivation ensures there is enough rabies-infected saliva in the optimal transmission location, your mouth. And hydrophobia, or trouble swallowing, ensures that it stays there.
Outer space, man.
In animals, the aggression can result in attack on another animal or human.
Animal, dogs. This is a dog thing. It's a dog thing. You find a raccoon or something somewhere, it was bitten by a dog. I say it was bitten by a dog. Nutters. See, they're sitting back trying to tell us that the rabies originated in some other animal other than dogs. Nah, that's not what the statistics, it's not what the numbers show.
Put all three of those together, and you have a very effective way to ensure the rabies virus is passed on.
Saliva is the way that rabies is transmitted. The way the virus is adapted, it is not in blood, it's not in body fluids, so it has to find a way to be transmitted effectively, right, to perpetuate its existence.
Now, this neurological damage caused by the infection is the thing that finally tips off the immune system. However, at this point, it's too late. Even though your immune system is finally going after the virus, it has already spread throughout the body.
After that, you have to remember this period is pretty short. It's just a couple days, because then it'll progress into a coma and then death, which is usually due to some kind of organ failure.
But a bite from a rabid animal doesn't always mean certain death. People who have been exposed to the rabies virus can get a series of shots that can boost the immune system and fight off the virus.
Man, you're telling me 18 to 20,000, a little over 20,000 people in one country have to deal with this, have to suffer, and sometimes over half of all victims are children, and you got laws over there to protect these things, that thoroughly protect these things. And really, those laws that y'all have over there, they are designed to increase the chances of people being attacked. Oh, yes. That's the function. That's the purpose that they serve, regardless of what their intent was. Just like I say happens here. They try to maximize the possibility that people will be attacked. Tell me those laws are not designed just like that.
You just need to get to it before it reaches the brain. So surviving rabies is all about timing and the location where you get bit.
Where you get bit, it plays a big role. Since the virus has to travel through the nerve system, the closer and get to the brain, the closer that bite is to the brain, the better for the virus. Bats are...
Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? I hate to have to reflect on how subhuman we are, how primitive, backwards we are, but we have to deal with it. Let's play that again.
And get to the brain.
Oh, back it up.
You just need to get to it before it reaches the brain. So surviving rabies is all about timing and the location where you get bit.
Timing and location. So you're probably better off getting bit on your extremity.
Where you get bit, it plays a big role. Since the virus has to travel through the nerve system, the closer and get to the brain, the closer that bite is to the brain, the better for the virus.
So if you get bitten close to the brain, you're going to die quicker. It's going to have a much greater impact. Who is more likely to be bitten close to their brain? Adults or children? So, on average, children die the most painful deaths. They die quicker and they die the most painful deaths over there in India. And y'all got laws over there to protect these things. Unbelievable. The good versus the bad. See, there's no reason to even deal with the good. What good? Who cares what good? It's a companion, part of the family.
Bats are a danger for that reason, that it's going to be biting probably around your head or your hands.
She said bats are a big problem because of that reason. Because bats will more likely bite you in your head. So it didn't pop into her head, the statistic I just shared. That, no, actually, what that tells us is that these things are a danger. And primarily a danger to children. Because they're most likely to get bit in the head. She don't even reflect on that. What that means to you is that stay away from bats. Wow. Who is this woman? Almost guarantee she's a dog owner.
Travel through the nerve system, the closer and get to the brain, the closer that bite is to the brain, the better for the virus. Bats are a danger for that reason, that it's going to be biting probably around your head or your hands. But also you don't notice a bat bite because the teeth are so small and they are so small. You maybe have a bat on your shoulder and you don't know it.
You just looked on your...
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Also, on top of that, ma'am, the fact that if you get bitten close to your brain, you are impacted worse. It's far more powerful when you get bitten close to the brain. That also means that these endangerment laws are even more violated. See, dogs are even more in violation of these endangerment laws with information like that, because it increases the severity of the attack itself. And nobody is paying attention to that. Okay. Now, what in the world? Yeah, I want to finish this. Let's finish this. They shared some good stuff, and this is real short. Oh, whoa. Let's get some volume here.
Dog lick on a raw surface, that is a wound, okay, it can cause rabies. And most of them think one
They
injection
said if a dog licks your wound or something, you can become infected.
is enough for anti-rabies injection is enough. They don't take. And some of them take 4 doses, the 5th dose they miss. Once the rabies symptoms occur, nobody can save them.
What other disease? There are other diseases like that, isn't there? Where there's just no cure and it's deadly. But is there anything more prevalent than rabies? Or more common than rabies? You look at some of these people who have rabies, they look horrible. They're in horrible condition. There are a few of them on this video. Oh, let's back that up. Wash your wound rigorously for 15 minutes if you are bitten by a dog. That's a long time to be washing a wound. 15 minutes. Do not apply Band-Aid or stitch the wound. Oh, man. The most dangerous part of a dog is its saliva, people. Now, isn't this crazy? The rabies saliva, Capnocytophaga saliva. We're looking at what rabies do to you. Look at what Capnocytophaga. This causes you to rot away and your limbs fall off. And it's always a dog that transmits it to humans. Wow. Wow. Good versus the bad. No, I'm basically talking about why dogs should be exterminated. For our survival, health and survival, these things need to go. Visit the doctor to determine, let me back that up, the category of bite. Get vaccinated and keep a check on the dog. And again, they're talking about dogs. Even though in the title, they said nothing about dogs. Because rabies is associated with dogs. Just like bot flies are associated with dogs. You only see them with dogs. Ticks, all these other crazy infections. Capnocytophaga. Every time somebody's limb is rotting off, falls off, need to be amputated. They wasn't licked by no cat. Why do we see so many things exclusive to dogs? This sneezing backwards. The anger, the violence, the aggression. This is why they deserve to be exterminated. They function in negative ways, far more negative ways, and far more to an extreme level than any other animal. Now, this guy is really hard to understand. I'm going to give it a shot. I don't even think he's speaking English. Here, listen to this.
There will be drooling of saliva from it continuously.
Oh.
There will be, if it is a rabbit, there will be drooling of saliva from it continuously from its mouth, and it will be very restless. One will be very dumb and sitting in one corner, drooling out. It will.
Now, you see that? That man has rabies, and you can see he's doing the same thing that dogs do. He's salivating. Saliva just falling out of his mouth. He's going crazy. He's losing it. This seems like something that came from outer space. What else does you like this?
And it will not be in a pack.
You go
Usually it will be
crazy?
alone.
Y'all got some 20,000 people a year going through this? This is crazy.
And it will be biting each and every person, irrespective of the race. So these are the basic concepts when a people should observe when a dog bites.
Now, I don't know how true that is. Say only 70% of Indians have ever heard of rabies. Oh, yeah, that's believable. I'm sure some of the kids might not know what it is. 30% know washing a wound is crucial. Oh, man, that's horrible. You see why there's a need for some type of real education on dogs in the mainstream schools? This is why. You gotta love how they point out that it's 100% fatal and 100% preventable. And they never talk about it being preventable by removing the dogs. It's always hurry up and get a shot. Oh, move fast. Go to the hospital very fast.
Travis, thanks. In the news tonight, I told.
And then it's preventable. If you can rush to the hospital and get treated in time. It doesn't make no sense, man. This is terrible. So this is a joke of a topic to me. I don't have the nerve to weigh the good versus bad when it comes to dogs. There's no good. There is no good. Yeah, I don't care what these nutters tell you. Now here's some bad. I shared this story before, but I did not get this clip. I didn't get this clip. This was uploaded a few hours ago on Pitbull Victim Awareness. All right? Many of you seen this.
Travis, thanks. In the news tonight, a Tulsa woman is heartbroken after her husband was mauled to death by one of their own dogs.
News on 6's Caitlin Deggs has her warning to other animal owners. Caitlin?
Jonathan Tatum, Gina Carter says yesterday was one of the worst days of her life after she lost both her husband and two of her dogs.
You know how that's so disrespectful to mention the dogs that killed the man as heartbreaking for the wife whose husband was killed. That part of her grief is the loss of her dogs. Unbelievable.
Don Gibson and his wife Gina were
Yeah, y'all remember her. That too loud? Let me turn this down a little bit.
trying to break up a fight between two of their dogs when their pit bull Isabella started attacking Don instead.
Finally, I just threw up my hands. I said, let them fight till the end. And Don said, no. I said, I got to go get help, Don. I said, look at you, I got to get help. My garage was nothing, looked like a slaughterhouse.
Okay, so he in there bleeding, the dog's fighting. She said the garage looked like a slaughterhouse. So he in there tumbling around, wrestling with the dogs, trying to get them to stop fighting, and they're attacking him. They're attacking him. She wants to just, hey, let's stop trying to break him up. He's he's willing to die for the dogs. So man, she had to watch her husband get murdered. Okay, keep that in mind.
Don died at the hospital.
We don't know if it was directly or indirectly because of his injuries, because he had some other medical conditions, but we do know that it was he was a contributing factor. There's absolutely no doubt.
Gina wants people to remember Don for who he was, the kind of person who would do anything to help someone else.
He's always joking, always joking. He was a good guy.
Police say when it comes to rescuing dogs, especially dogs who might have been abused, it's important.
So they're defending the dogs. They're trying to clean this up. Oh, dogs abused. Oh, why are you even mentioning that? There's no proof or evidence that these people abused these dogs that killed this man. Let's stick to the subject here. They understand that one individual story can reflect very badly on all dogs, which is the whole purpose of my channel. To help people associate dogs with carnage, evil, death, sorrow, pain. That's all they bring to people. Let's get real.
Rescuing dogs, especially dogs who might have been abused, it's important to learn their history.
Oh, learn the dog's history. Dogs can be safe. Simply learn their history. First of all, you can't always do that. Quite often, that's not even possible. So what do we do with those dogs? Can we put those dogs down? If we don't know your history, you get euthanized. You're not willing to do that. So don't give me no lecture about how, oh, you just need to know the dog's history. Oh, someone, child was killed, attacked. Oh, you probably didn't know its history. See, you have to know the dog's history. So it's your fault that your child, that you, whoever was attacked, because you didn't check its history. Can we reject dogs because we don't know their history? See, the dog nutters, they're not willing to support that. The complete rejection of dogs that we don't know the history of. How far back is that history supposed to go? If we don't know the history of a dog from the time it was born to now, we can euthanize it? Is that what you're saying? They're just reaching for anything at this point, trying to defend the dogs.
To help someone else.
He's always joking, always joking. He was a good guy.
Police say when it comes to rescuing dogs, especially dogs who might have been abused, it's important to learn their history.
Try to find out some background, try to find out some, other things, before you actually take this dog into your home.
Gina says she's thankful for her support system.
If you have to find the background of a creature, and if you don't, it'll flip and kill you. What are you talking about? Make sure you find out about its background. That way you know whether your chances are high or low of getting your face ripped off. People, you shouldn't be comfortable with there being a less chance this thing attack you. Good for you. You go from 90% chance to a 50% chance. And you comfortable with that? You think that's smart? I don't agree with increasing the chances that I'm going to get mauled by 1%, a fraction of a percent. Yeah, I don't play with stupidity like y'all. I don't get this brain dead era. Lord, y'all need to go on somewhere, man. I'm tired of this. Is just too much.
Gina says she's thankful for her support system, but she is still trying to understand and process what happened.
Right.
See, now, maybe this is just me. The older I get, the more I grow, the more mature I try to get. Well, I don't even try. It just comes natural. And I've noticed that a lot of things that I used to, be into, that I used to like, that I used to enjoy, I don't enjoy. I don't get into it anymore. And at this point, many of the things I used to get into and talk about, stuff like that, I think is very childish now. It's childish. And if you're an old man, you're still looking at dogs as playthings. And this man got on the floor in the kitchen of his restaurant, playing a place where dogs are not supposed to be, according to the law. Got down on the ground playing with dogs in the kitchen of his restaurant. Say it ain't so. Man, wow. Really? You haven't even become that mature and professional yet? This is issue of professionalism, maturity, and a whole bunch of other things. Wow. I mean, what would you think? You walk in, you peek over the counter at a restaurant, you see the chef playing with a couple dogs.
Now I just don't want to see any dog. I mean, but...
You hear what she said? Let me back that up.
But she is still trying to understand and process what happened.
Right now I just don't want to see any dog. I mean, but...
She said right now, I don't want to see any dog. And then she got hit with a feeling of guilt.
I mean, but it ain't their fault that it happened.
She said it ain't the dog's fault that it happened. I didn't share this clip. Yeah, credit pit bull victim awareness. I didn't have it. I would have shared it, but I did not have it. Boy, she hit us. That was a doozy. The dogs that mauled her husband to death, she said it wasn't the dog's fault.
Any dog. I mean, but it ain't their fault that it happened. But I'll take care of them. They're my babies. Ain't their fault that it happened. But I'll take care of them. They're my babies. That's all I got to live for now.
People, do you not see death at the door? Do you not see the lowest form of degeneracy being practiced by well over 50% of the people on this planet? We are in a recession, morally, intellectually, and spiritually. And it's at an all-time low. This woman said the dogs that mauled, killed her husband, killed him, tortured him first, tortured and killed him. She said it wasn't the dog's fault. These are the same people who get pit bull bands removed, by the way. It wasn't the dog's fault. And that she's going to take care of those same dogs that killed him. And she said it's not their fault, and those are her babies. She said, those are my babies. Now, I know you believe. At this point, you have to understand that we are dealing with a group of mentally ill people. That I've not just been sitting here calling people names. I have not. This is a mental illness, people. There's no way around that. You know you're dealing with a mental illness when the result is torture and death, and you continue to cater to the exact entity that tortured and killed human life. Your husband, of all people. I've never examined this much insanity in my life. Ever. And I've been a nerd for a while. This is easily the most ridiculous aspect or dynamic in reality. A lot of crazy stuff going on. Another toddler was mutilated. These stories never stop. right? This surfaced a few hours ago. 3 children left with significant injuries. 3. Attacked by dogs in separate incidents. How about that? How about that? And they make laws. And it's pretty much the same here in the United States. Like with these 3 children. They're going to do an investigation. That is done to try their best to keep the dog alive and to adopt it out to someone else. Protect it. You can't harm it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, this was another article I found today. It surfaced a few hours ago. Now, dog-related injuries cost insurers more than $1 billion in 2022. A lot of money in dog bites. Oh yeah, doctors raking in that dough. So there are a lot of different things that makes banning dogs more difficult. Yeah, when you bring money into the picture, yeah, it gets a lot more difficult. But it'll just take a little more time. The truth is really invincible. Truth is invincible. It'll be there when your money runs out. It'll always be there. It'll always be there. Lies always fizzle away. They don't stand the test of time. Think in history how many lies have popped up. How many times throughout history the general population believed certain things. And then it just fizzled out. This nutter culture is on that path, in my opinion. Big shout out to everybody. What are y'all into on this fine Wednesday? What's going on? Shar in the house, Tara, my man Marquise, Jeff, King Babe, Per Kelly in the house. What's up, Joseph Aldrich? Yeah, I should check the chat more often. Whenever I check the chat, I can't help but to get involved in it. And then I sort of steer away from and slow down the stream, like the content of the stream. Oh man, what are y'all looking at? Are y'all looking at the chat room? Y'all not supposed to be looking at the chat room. Y'all supposed to be looking at my monitor. Y'all looking at the chat room. Okay, so I'm still trying to figure this out. This new live stream. That's my fault. That's terrible. Have y'all been looking at this the whole time? Here, let me change this. This is terrible. This is driving me crazy. No, you should be looking at that. Okay, well, we'll see. I probably destroyed another live stream. Oh well. Serena in the house. What's up? Yes. Said we cannot see it. This is terrible. This is terrible. What is wrong with this thing? Okay, let me try something else here. That's the problem. Oh my God. It's too much. The whole thing has changed. This whole OBS system, everything. There's so many apps on my computer that it functions different now. After this goofy upgrade. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. What was I showing? I think you could hear it. Yeah, you could probably hear what I was saying. So I didn't ruin the live stream. It's just not as effective. And you heard what she said. Yeah, you got to watch this as she says it to get the full impact. Here, let me share a link. Most of you seen it because it's on Pitbull Victim Awareness channel. I think it's the most recent video. Those my babies. Oh man, help us. Shout out to everybody able to join me for this live stream. And I hope to see you back on the next as we continue with this crusade.